celebrate and take the time to say this is gonna be a good day.
All right, here we are, episode 2 of Narwhals and Waterfalls mini show. And let's go ahead and start out, as we always do, with a quick check-in. Backtrack a second. My name's Adrian.
And my name is Paige.
All right, and we are Narwhals and Waterfalls. And let's start off with the most important thing. Check in and see how are you doing today.
All right. So, how are you doing today, Adrian?
I am excited, a little nervous. It's been a crazy work day, but excited to be here with you, with Marley, and with our surprise guest a little bit later.
Yes, that's awesome.
How about you?
I'm feeling pretty calm today. I actually got to organize some closet space, so that made me feel really calm and relaxed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Organizing closet space. I should probably do some of that.
Yeah.
Definitely some messes I should really work my way through. Okay, but we cannot go on without introducing our guest for the day, Mrs. Carlee Kumler. Hi.
Hi.
So how are you doing today?
Well, I am feeling happy that I get to be here virtually with you guys. Because I love connecting with other people, and this is fun.
Agreed.
We are so glad to have you.
Okay, so we're going to be talking more with Carlee a little bit later about this week's theme. But first, a couple things on our agenda. Number 1 is a quick correction. Last week, during our trivia, I said that our attention span is 5 minutes per year, which, with the second thought, is ridiculous, but it happened. So, let's come clean. It's actually 5 seconds for each year of life is our attention span. So that changes the math a lot. Our second thing on the agenda is send us your videos. We are putting together a crowdsourced version of our video, If I Rode My Horse. And if you could send us a clip just like this one I'm about to play, it would be amazing.
Get. Hi, day. Okay, go ahead. Turn to each other. Hi. Hey. And say hi, bye.
So those are some friends of mine from Japan, actually. I lived there for a few years. That was my pastor and his family. Those are his 4 sons. And so he sent us that to help us put together this video. And it would be great if you could send us a video like that as well for any of the actions in our If I Rode My Horse video. And if you watch that, it's pretty self-explanatory. There's bowing, there's waving, there's smiling, there's riding a horse, there's riding a dolphin. But there'll be a link below where you can send us those. So send us those whenever you have a chance. And third, last but not least, let's say hello to our guest today, Miss Carlee Kumler.
All right. So, we're so excited to have Carlee today. She's a dear friend of ours who has a master's in clinical mental health counseling, and she currently offers therapy at Lifeology Oak Cliff. She works with children, teens, and adults and specializes in play therapy, expressive arts, and disordered eating. She also has a background in theater, which makes her therapy sessions really fun, engaging, and interactive. And she's going to help us today get real about routines. That's our topic. So we're just going to be diving right in.
All right.
All right, Carlee. So we have a couple of questions for you about routine.
Sure.
Some questions we got from listeners and from Facebook and Instagram. So the first question is, Why is routine important for a child?
Routine is important for a child because, well, for all children, because routine equals predictability, and predictability equals safety, emotional safety. It makes kids feel safe knowing what's about to happen and what they can plan on happening each day. Think about it as an adult, right? Right now, a lot of our schedules are kind of unpredictable, and it's a little bit more stressful than normal. We really like our routine as adults, and the same is true even more so for a child. And because they don't have control over the routine, it's really important that they have access to it, that you make it known to them, make it somewhat consistent so that they know what to expect and can feel safe emotionally and physically.
That's awesome. Like how do you actually make a routine for kids?
Yeah, well, making routines for kids, it really is dependent on the age and stage of the child and the needs of that particular child and particular family. It's important to know that there's not some magic routine for a child that everyone should follow, but really it's about looking at what's going to work for you and your family. So I know, for example, when I was a nanny, I knew that afternoon nap was a challenge sometimes, but it was really important. And so nap was really a consistent time. And we began taking a walk right before, like an hour or two before nap time, because I found that in between lunch and nap was a really good time to work out some energy. So it made sense to go do something that would expend a lot of energy before nap so that nap would be a little simpler. So it's really about making things easier for you, not harder. What makes sense? Does it make sense to go play outside and get sweaty right after bath time? Maybe not if they're about to go to bed, right? So it's just making things make sense for your particular child and your particular needs. And asking yourself, what does my child need? What do I need? Do I need a break right now? So maybe 4 p.m. is a good time for, an activity that the child could do on their own, or screen time or something if the parent needs a break. So I think it's being honest about what you need as an adult and also what the child needs is one of the best ways to kind of figure out your schedule.
Okay. Well, there's the follow-up to that. What happens if the child resists the routine? What can you do to make it easier?
Yeah, so if a child resists the routine, I think it really depends on kind of what is it about the routine that they're resisting. We want to know kind of what is it below it. Is it that they don't like being told what to do? So maybe you can make it more of a like, you can choose between these two activities at this time. So you're offering them some more autonomy, even though you are controlling the choices. So maybe it's them needing a voice and a choice in the moment instead of being told, like, now is the time you play with blocks. Because maybe they don't want to play with blocks. And maybe that's not the hill to die on, okay? So so I think giving them a voice and a choice when possible can be helpful. So that it isn't like, you're going to follow my routine because this works for mom. No, we're going to work together to figure out what's going to work best for us. And so if a routine isn't working for you, like I said, like, figure out what is going to work. And maybe if they're resistant to routine, if they're old enough, maybe you talk to them and be like, hey, I notice it's really hard for you at this time to do this thing that I want you to do. I wonder, is there something I could do to help you? Is there something, I wonder what would make it easier. Do you have any ideas? And really, again, looking to your child, if they're old enough, and checking in with them and be like, dude, this isn't working, is it? And they can be like, no, mom, it's not. Or no, dad, I don't like this. And they're like, okay, well, if you don't like this, what do you like? What could we do to get you to do this? And that could look like there are a lot of different strategies to get there. But I think checking in with the child and also maybe changing your expectations. I think a lot of routines is all about expectation and managing those expectations, both for you as the parent. It's like, my child's going to do this perfectly. It's not going to make a mess. It's going to be great. I'm a Pinterest mom. That, maybe lowering those expectations a bit. Like, this is going to be a challenge, and that's okay if it takes longer than expected. And also just managing those expectations with the child. Like, so the child knows, like, I expect you to communicate with me, like, let me know how you're feeling and how you're doing, but also we can change the routine if we need to, if we can have a conversation about it.
I love that. I love how simple you make it, and how, it's how important it is to maybe help the kids be a co-creator
Absolutely.
of the schedule, and giving them that autonomy, like you said. That's really great advice.
They'll get a lot more buy-in if they feel like they had a hand in creating it, for sure.
This is true. So, my notes on what you said there are the big three: find what works, don't force it.
Yes.
Give the kids a voice and a choice, and manage your and the kids' expectations. Pretty solid summary there.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's a very solid summary, and I think that if we can put those things into action, it is a lot harder. I think my message for parents in this particular time is that of grace, and giving themselves grace and giving their children grace, as routines will change, and that it's okay that routines change right now, or that one day looks completely different than the next, or one day involves a whole lot of screen time when you may not normally be the parent that has a lot of screen time. It's okay. We are doing our best to get by right now, and that is enough. And so if your routine needs to change, great. Just my big thing is that you communicate with the child when that routine is going to change, because they're still looking to you for that guidance and that safety. So if you can communicate to them, like, oh, today we're going to eat breakfast and then watch Frozen. If that's new and it normally isn't what you do that day, great. Communicate to them at least one to two things at a time, right? First breakfast, then Frozen. And then after Frozen, it's like, ooh, Frozen, then snack time. Just little digestible things, because when they know what's coming, they can process, and then transitions become a lot easier.
Indeed.
I love that. And I love the idea, just the simple idea of giving yourself grace and giving yourself permission to be a different type of parent, or to do things differently during this time.
Absolutely. And I think if we hold ourselves to the same standard that we have when we have childcare and a job to be at and kids are at school, like that's not our reality right now. So we really do need to just change those standards and give ourselves grace and give our children grace and give them a safe place to feel their feelings and to work them out. Which one other thing I wanted to kind of work in there about routines is that I think it's really important that children have some unstructured play in their day, because children process differently than adults. So we are like, a lot of us are verbal processors or whatever, but children actually process through play. And so giving them an opportunity to play in an unstructured way, meaning that they have a choice in how they play, right? Because toys are a kid's words and play is their language. So don't think that you have to have this meticulous routine where every moment is mapped out and every activity, and you have a sensory bin and this and that and everything you've micromanaged as the parent. No. Let them play. Allow them time to play, space to play, freedom to play how they want to, because they do need to process through play, and they need the freedom in which to do that. And honestly, it'll free up your time too if you just allow them a little more freedom.
Wow, I think that's brilliant. What you said about play being their words,
yes,
and toys being their language. Am I getting that right?
It's toys are their words and play is.
Okay,
Yeah.
Don't quote me, quote the therapist. I'm going to switch that in my notes. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Actually, one
My
last
pleasure.
question, though. Where can parents find resources to help them create a routine that works for them and their family?
Yeah, great question. So there are so many things online that you can look to, but there's I have shared, I think somewhere there will be a link to the Teaching Mama. I used her, I didn't even say this, but a picture schedule. When children are little, you can use a picture schedule, which you'll see I also have provided a handout for you guys. And there is an example of a picture schedule, and there's some little tips and tricks on how to use a picture schedule and use timers as something else that can really help you in this time. Timers are life. They can be the bad guy instead of you. Seriously, it's great. So you can find my resource. I think Adrian and Paige are going to make sure that's available for you. Also, I am available. I even offer telehealth play therapy. Now, it is different than in person, but I can do it if you need it, and definitely can talk strategy with you as well. But there are a lot of online platforms to look for. Teaching Mama has a lot of really good stuff, which we'll link to. And but I'm happy to be a resource. You can find me on Facebook. My business page is Carlee Kumler, and on Instagram at Carlee Kumler. And so happy to be a resource for you.
Awesome. So, gotta love reviews. So here we go. Last review. 1, find what works. 2, voice and choice. 3, manage expectations. And I want to say 4, almost more important than all of that, unstructured play. It's gotta be part of it. Cool.
Yes.
All right. Well, that leads us. Well, actually, I want to share a little bit about my routine now. I know for a while, have been moving towards working from home, and that presents its own challenges for myself. And so I wanted to share real quick just a little bit about my workspace and a couple of things I use. This is a rough picture of my desk where I work. It's been cleaner. It's been worse as well, so I'll take that. But as you can see in the bottom left there is an hourglass. That has been essential. If I use the timer on my phone, it just doesn't work. So having a 15-minute hourglass, I work in 30-minute chunks. So there's that halfway point, and then I flip it, and then I get up and do something outside of that. If you look right there below that big monitor, there's a cue card that says hourglass to remind me to actually use the hourglass. And he's not on there.
Reminders are important for all of us.
They are indeed. And also over there on the left, it's hard to see there, but that's actually it's an incense burner. I've realized over the course of my life that there are just certain smells and certain visual cues, whatever kind of cues, we can use our senses to help us get into it. So I have a specific kind of incense that I'll burn when I need to do a deep dive or something like that. And after doing it consistently for a couple of weeks, it actually helped. I would light it, and even if I was feeling distracted, it would kind of remind me. It was a cue that this is what we're supposed to do, and it would bring me back to focus. And actually, I didn't think it would work either. I tried it, and I was like, oh, would you look at that? And it actually worked.
That's awesome. I feel like during this time, we almost have to parent ourselves and hold ourselves accountable. So yeah, I guess that, do you have any more to share about your routine, Adrian?
Oh, well, this one's more for the adults, I guess. I'll throw that up there. As you may have noticed, if you're really a huge fan, that is a closer look with Seth Meyers on the screen there. I go through extreme lengths at this point to manage all the intake I have, especially news at this moment. And so I got rid of the news app on my phone, and that is my daily dose of what I need to know. And it helps that it's funny, so that whatever extra anxiety there is, you can just laugh about it and move on. But that is a very important part of my routine with the craziness and the change and everything that's going on at the moment. And Miss Paige, what about your routine over there?
So my routine, I like to keep it really simple. Every day I get out my little old journal. Looks like this. Let's see. I'll just go to a blank page. But I get out my journal and I make a list of all the things that I need to get done. and I usually only make about 2 to 3, maybe like 1 to 2 goals a day, because I don't like to overwhelm myself, and I feel like that's true for kids too. Making smaller goals that are bite-sized pieces. I think Carlee was saying something about that earlier. I do that for myself too. And every morning I do a routine where I wake up and I try to do yoga, eat breakfast, and do a meditation. And I have an app called Headspace that I do every morning just to clear my head, because there's just so much going on right now. It really helps to calm anxiety. And there's also meditations on there for kids. And I wanted to show you Marley's schedule. So this is Marley, by the way, if you don't know Marley. Okay. Her daily schedule, she writes it out so that, she knows what she's going to do at different blocks of time. For breakfast is 9 to 9:30. She has biscuits and shrimpies. And then she does the Good Day Cha-Cha every morning, because that's like a perfect song for a morning routine. And then at 10, math and science, basic. And then 11 to 11:30, swimming to the iceberg to take a chill pill. And then of course 12 to 2 o'clock, she watches Frozen pretty much every day. And then singing practice. So she has a very structured day as well.
Nice.
I'm going to tell her to add in a little bit more play, though, during the day.
Definitely, yeah.
I think she needs that.
Just a big question mark in the middle of the schedule, like, who knows?
Exactly.
All right. Well, I guess that brings us to our SEL Trivia for the day. We'll kick it off with our first question here. That is, how long does it take to form a new habit? We'll give about 10 seconds to discuss and think about it. And 3, 2, 1. 8 to 254 days, or 66 days on average is the answer there. Any surprises based on that? I see in the comments.
That's a lot of patience.
It is. We have a comment from Mary King Casey that says 21 days, and that is a very common assumption about this, that 21 days is the magic number, but apparently it's a wide window there for a habit to actually set in.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right.
All right. The next one is, what part of the brain activates the fight, flight, or freeze response when we feel threatened or afraid? All right. We're going to give you a couple seconds to think on that.
And 3, 2, 1.
All right. Who knows the answer?
I do.
What is it, Carlee?
Amygdala.
Yeah!
That is correct. All right.
We talk about a lot.
The amygdala. Carlee, how big is the amygdala in the brain?
It's, I don't know if I'm on the screen, but it's the bottom. It's not very big. That's what I have to tell you. Not very big.
I think I heard somewhere that it was like a walnut.
Almond.
Almond. So close.
Yeah, it's little.
All right. And our third question here is, what percentage of Americans don't drink enough water? We'll give you a few more seconds.
Not me.
All right, and 3, 2, 1, an estimated 75%. Yeah, that's a higher number than I thought. I know I'm part of that. But I guess this harkens back to a lot of what you were saying, Carlee, is the first thing is manage expectations. Don't freak out. We're good. And 8 glasses of water a day is another one of those common misconceptions that is not necessary, and it's probably a little bit too much, actually. We actually get way more water than we think when we eat different fruits and vegetables and in pretty much all the food we eat. And so adding one more glass of water a day is a great routine to institute, but again, if it doesn't happen, don't beat yourself up about it. Because also, going back to the habit thing, one of the most important things they mentioned was that if you do a habit for 2 weeks and then you mess up one day, you're good. That window doesn't have to be every day consistently or it all falls apart. It's not all or nothing. You can mess up and get back on track. You can fall off for a few days and still get back on track and still create a long-lasting habit that will make your life way better in the long run.
Well, that's really good to know. Really reassuring.
Yeah, it's not all or nothing. Cool. All right. Any final thoughts from you guys?
No, I'm just really excited to hear Carlee singing today.
Yes.
She has the voice of an angel.
Yes, that is our surprise for you guys today. And I'll let Carlee take it from here.
Sure. All right. So this is my husband, Josh, who's going to accompany, and we'll sing together here.
Hello.
And we're going to sing a song made famous by Mr. Rogers. This is one of our favorite songs, and so we're going to sing it, and it's true. It's you I like. It's not the things you wear. It's not the way you do your hair, but it's you I like. The way you are right now. The way down deep inside you. Not the things that hide you. Not your toys, they're just beside you. But it's you I like. Every part of you. Your skin, your eyes, your feelings, whether old or new. I hope that you'll remember, even when you're feeling blue. That it's you I like, it's you yourself, it's you. It's you I like.
And a round of applause there. Awesome. Thank you so much. Also, thank you to Josh, who's now off camera somewhere back there. Thanks. Yeah, I guess that wraps up today. I hope. Oh, wait. Woo, jumped the gun there.
Let's do the narwhal breath.
Yes, we have to close with narwhal breath. All right, let's get ready here.
Josh, you can be a part of this narwhal breath too.
Come do a narwhal breath.
Okay.
The narwhal breath is for everyone. All right, so you take your tusk and breathe in and dive into the sea out.
One more?
One more. Ready? Get your tusk. Breathe in. Dive into the sea. Breathe out. All right.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Carlee, for joining us today and sharing some awesome information. And again, a link to all the things she was talking about, those resources, will be in the description below in just a little bit. And, yeah. You want to sing the goodbye song and take us home here, Miss Paige?
All right. Sounds good.
Bye.
Goodbye. See you later. Goodbye. See you soon. much today. It's time to celebrate all the stuff that we know, new things to help us grow. We learned so much today. It's time to celebrate all the stuff that we know, new things to help us grow. Bye. See you later. Goodbye. See you soon. One more time. Sing with me. Goodbye. See you later. Goodbye. See you soon.
All right. Well, let's go make today a good day for ourselves and for somebody else. See you next week.
Bye. See you next time.